Picking up where we left off at, we were looking at the fives here. We have a 5 in this prime factorization of 40, and we had two fives in the prime factorization of 50. Remember, I told you when you have the same digit in both, you take the one that has the most of those digits. So we would have two fives. So our LCD is equal to 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8, times 5 is 40, times 5 is 200. Now remember, that's 2 times 5, not 25. So our LCD here is 200. So that will be our new denominator. To get our new numerator, this is what we would do. We would take the new denominator divided by the old denominator. So we could go off to the side here. That'll be 200 divided by 40, which we know is 5. So we would take this 5 and multiply it by this 3 over 40. So we'd take 3 over 40 times 5 over 5, which would give us 15 over 200. Next, we would take this new denominator divided by the old denominator. So that would be 200 divided by 50, which would give us 4. So we'll multiply this numerator and denominator by 4. 7 times 4 is 28, and 50 times 4 is 200. Now we have our fractions. 15 plus 28 is 43, and that's all over 200. And that is it. Now we scroll down here to example 2. It says find the sum or difference. Now, the first thing we're told to do is to see if we could factor these denominators. We can. So this would be 8 over x plus 4 minus 7 over, we could factor out a 3, and we would have x plus 4. Now look here. In our denominators, we have everything the same except for this 3 is multiplied by this parenthesis. So what we could do is this here. We could multiply this numerator and denominator by 3, and then our denominators will look alike. So we would have 24 over 3 times x plus 4 minus 7 over 3 times x plus 4. Now 24 minus 7 we know is 17, and that'll be all over 3 times x plus 4. And that's it. Now we come here to b. Now if you notice, our denominators are different. We have x plus 1, and we also have x minus 1. Now, remember, we cannot do individual terms. We could do factors like we did over here. We was able to find the factor that was missing and multiply the numerator and denominator by that factor. But these are terms. So what we would need to do is multiply both of these by the different denominators here. So here for our numerator, we would have x minus 1 over x minus 1 times x over x plus 1. That would take care of this side. Then we would have plus. Let me see, x minus 1. Okay, then we would have plus. Now, we know this fraction was 3 over x minus 1. So we have to multiply this numerator and denominator by x plus 1. Okay, so now, in our numerator, we have x times x, which is x squared. X times a minus 1 will be minus x, all over. We have x minus 1, x plus 1. So we have plus. We have 3 times x plus 1, which is 3x plus 3, all over x minus 1 times x plus 1. Okay, now, what we need to do is combine the like terms. Okay, class, I had to create some more space here because this is going to be somewhat of a lengthy problem. But now that we have the common denominators, now we combine the like terms. We have x squared, a minus x plus 3x will give us a plus 2x, and then plus 3, all over x minus 1, x plus 1. Now we need to factor our numerator. Our numerator factors to be x plus, well, actually it cannot be factored. So actually This is the final answer. Okay, so now we scroll down here. Now we have C here. Now we factor our denominators. Now when we factor x squared minus 4x plus 3, that will give us x minus 3 and also x minus 1. Plus, our numerator here is still 4. It's the difference of 2 squares, so it would be x minus 3, x plus 3. Now we compare here. Both of these have an x minus 3. But we have one here with an x plus 3 and one with an x minus 1. So what we need to do is multiply this by what is lacking. This is lacking an x plus 3. So we multiply the numerator and denominator by x plus 3. And over here, this is lacking an x minus 1. So when we multiply this, this will give us 2x squared, because x times 2x is 2x squared, and 3 times 2x is 6x. All over, our denominator will be x plus 3, x minus 3, and x minus 1. Now this will be plus. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times a minus 1 is minus 4. All over x plus 3, x minus 3, and x minus 1. Okay, now we combine like terms. 2x squared, we have 6x plus 4x, which is 10x, minus 4, all over x plus 3, x minus 3, and x minus 1. Now there's one last thing we need to do with this problem. We can factor out a 2 in our numerator, and we will have x squared plus 5x minus 2. In our denominator, we will have x plus 3, x minus 3, and x minus 1. And that is the final answer, because we cannot factor anymore with this numerator. Now we're done with C. Now we come here to D. We factor these denominators. So we will have x over, we factor out a 2, we have x plus 2, minus 2 over, we can factor out an x, and we will have x plus 2. Now the only difference between this denominator and this denominator is that this has an x. So we know we'll multiply this numerator and denominator by x. So we have x over x times x over 2 times x plus 2. Now this is minus 2 over x times x plus 2. And we know for this denominator, what we're missing here is a 2. So we multiply numerator and denominator by 2. When you compare these two denominators, this does not have the 2. So now we multiply. This will give us x squared all over 2x times x plus 2 minus 2 times 2 is 4 all over 2x times x plus 2. Now, we go for the next thing here. We combine these fractions. So we will have x squared minus 4 over 2x times x plus 2. Now we know x squared minus 4 is the difference of 2 squares. So we will have x minus 2 and x plus 2 all over 2x times x plus 2. These x plus 2 simplify out. Now for some reason a lot of this stuff is disappearing, but we know that these are x plus 2's here that simplify out, and our final answer will be left with x minus 2 over 2x. And that's it for that problem. Now we scroll down here to example 2, which is continue. Now, when we look here at our denominators, we have two separate expressions. Look at these terms. We have x plus 3 and x minus 4. They have nothing in common. So that means that you must multiply both of their numerator and denominators by the other denominator. So for x plus 3, we'll multiply this numerator and denominator by x minus 4. So we have x minus 4 over x minus 4 times x minus 2 over x plus 3. Then we'll do minus. Then we know we'll multiply this fraction here by x plus 3. So we have x plus 5 over x minus 4 times x plus 3 over x plus 3. Let's see, x minus 4, x plus 3, x plus 3. Okay, so now we multiply. X minus 4 times x minus 2 will give you x squared minus 6x plus 8. And that's all over x minus 4 and x plus 3. So this will be minus x plus 5 times x plus 3 is x squared plus 8x plus 15. And then our denominator will be x minus 4 and x plus 3. Now we combine like terms. X squared minus x squared, we know is 0. Negative 6x minus 8x will give us a negative 14x. Then we have 8 minus 15, which will give us a minus 7 over x minus 4, x plus 3. Now we can factor out a negative 7, and we will have 2x minus 1. Plus 1. Now we know this denominator was supposed to be x minus 4 and x plus 3. For some reason it disappeared. And now it came back. But you all could always scroll back and look at what the denominator was. And you all know that we just carried it over anyway. And I don't know why it keeps disappearing like this, but it does. Okay, so this is your final answer, because there's nothing more we could do with this. So remember, this side here is really x minus 4, x plus 3. Now we have to go to f. Now, I think I'm going to need more room with f, but we'll try it out. We have 2x over x plus y plus 3y over x squared plus 3xy plus 2y. So we know we need to factor this denominator here. So we will have 2x and x plus y, that will remain the same, plus 3y all over. Okay, class, I took the liberty of filling this out. Okay, we had 2x over x plus y. We had 3y here. Now this x squared plus 3y plus 2y squared, it factors to be x plus 2y and x plus y. Now if you notice here, this fraction in the denominator does not have the x plus 2y. So we'll multiply the numerator and denominator by x plus 2y. And then this fraction here, it has the x plus y, so we don't need to do anything with it but bring it down. Okay, now when we take x times 2x, that gives us 2x squared. 2y times 2x gives us 4xy, and then it's plus 3y. Then our denominator, we know x plus 2y, x plus y is the same as this, so we carry our denominator over. And for some reason, that was made a minus, but it's x plus 2y, x plus y. And there's nothing else we could do with this, so we're done with f. Okay, now when we look at this problem here, I already took the liberty of factoring out the denominator here. So this would be 4 over t squared minus 1 and t minus 2. Now when we get here, we just leave this as t squared minus 1. Now if you notice, the only difference is this second fraction does not have a t minus 2 in the denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this second fraction by t minus 2. So we have 4 over t squared minus 1 over t minus 2 minus, in our numerator, we have 2t minus 4 all over t squared minus 1 and t minus 2.